Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. The market has been somewhat slow over the last couple of days, but we have been able to spot some really good trade setups regardless. We'll go through those shortly when we look at the trade recap. So our course has started on the 5th of September. That is last week, Monday. We have done 5 days of the 10 live course. So we resume on Monday, that is tomorrow, with day 6 of the course. All right. So if you'd like to know more about our services, you can check out our website. That is trading-waves.com. As you can see the website open there. For the rest of the contact details, you can open up any of our videos on our YouTube channel, where you can just go under the description of any of our videos. You will find our contact details, including mobile numbers for WhatsApp or Telegram, where you can contact us, as well as the email address that you can use to contact us. And you can also do that via the website live chat. So those are the contact details, including our social media pages. Follow us on the Twitter and Facebook to see our day-to-day updates of the charts, so you can see how we look at the market. All right, so as usual, we look at how we forecasted the market over the last couple of days and how it played out, as well as the outlook going into the new week. Let's start with a recap. So as you've seen here, I've got a channel here for the charts before and after. So that's the charts before and after. I've already opened them up on the links. So I'm just going to go through this. It's not a lot. Just going to go high level with those really high probable trade setups that we had over the last couple of days, and then we'll start with the outlook for the new week. Right, so what you have here is a US dollar yen. So the yen pairs have continued to rally to the upside. So as far as US dollar yen is concerned, we're looking at this to be making a fifth wave here. As you can see, we focused that this is just going to continue to the upside. This was just straightforward, not really a good trade setup, as it already made quite a significant move to the upside. But regardless of that, it has played out quite a bit. It has played out quite well, making 650 pips for that fifth wave in the red degree. The fifth wave in the red degree is this one here. If I can just show you the red degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extended wave 5 there, making those 650 pips. So that was the chart before. That is the chart after. So we got it from here for 650 pips, gave it an opportunity here on the 1 hour chart for another entry for additional 650 pips. So what is the outlook going forward? We are expecting that we're going to have at least a 3-wave pullback before resumption of the move to the upside to go for that yellow wave 5. As you can see here, we'll be looking for that yellow wave 5 on US dollar yen. Now, the next one here is Chief Yen. Now, make note that Chief Yen, we were looking for these to make a 3-wave structure and give us another move here. I'll show you detail of what we're expecting in the week. So the forecast was for this one to make a 3-wave structure, come back down here, because then we'd be expecting that it was going to make a double correction as follows, where we were going to have this one as a W, and this one as a X, and this one as a Y, then make a resume to the upside. But the indicator was showing us that this was not going to make a move to the downside, and it was going to make a move to the upside. So hence, then we took that trade setup to the upside. Let's have a look at that trade setup. All right, so that is how it has eventually played out, as you can see there. All right, so you can see that the yen pairs have been very generous. As you can see here, just that trade setup alone, as it was giving us that 4-wave structure, nice blue box area here, and 743 pips bang in just the last week, as you can see here. 740 pips, and you've already seen the yen, US dollar yen has already given us about 600 pips as well. So this is what we're going to be expecting going into the new week. I'll show you what we're going to be expecting, just a pullback and continuation to the upside as far as Chief Yen is concerned. Okay, so in line with the yen pairs, New Zealand yen was a complex B correction, clear complex B correction. We showed this one 2 weeks ago. We were looking for this one to do that and make this move to the upside, as you can see here. So that has played out inch perfect, as you can see, right down, pinpointed to the entry, and we have got 550 to pips. So that's the nice thing about the yen pairs. They move quite fast, and you get to make your money quite quickly as well. As you can see, it went simply in this three-wave fashion. An impulse, made a correction, another entry, and then made another move to the upside. So easy 552 pips. What is the outlook going into the new week? We're expecting at least another entry set up here and a continuation to the upside. If you don't have an entry strategy or an indicator the way we do, then you cannot just go and buy this. You need to have an entry. It has to provide you with an entry. All right, so this one was Audi yen. It was similar to New Zealand as well. This one had already made a bit of a move to the upside. That's why we were confident to trade the New Zealand as well from the bottom, because this one was already indicating that it was going to make a move to the upside. So structurally, it was also making a complex B correction in flat, as you can see here, very clear structure. Then we have made subsequently another move to the upside, almost 650 pips, 594 to be exact. We are still expecting this to continue pushing to the upside as well. So just look at that. Focus before and the forecast after, 650 pips. So the yen pairs, very generous. Now looking at this one was a cross pair, New Zealand CAD, looking for this one to have made a three-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, as you can see, blue box area, and expecting this one to start dropping to the downside. Okay, so that's what we're looking for here with this one. Okay, so let's see how this one has played out. So that was New Zealand CAD. Subsequent to that, as you can see, 331 pips does not move as fast as the yen pairs, but 330 pips nonetheless. That is not a small move by any measure. Right, so that was a New Zealand CAD. Euro pound, let's have a look at Euro pound. So Euro pound, a couple of weeks back, we have looked at this to be making a three-wave structure into the blue box. So the first move was from here, it went back into the blue box, but we were still confident that this was still going to make a blue box structure, because what we were looking for was this WXYXZ. So we could see that the cycle was not complete, and it was going to make an 11 swing sequence with WXYXZ. So that's why even when it was still here, when it started here, we still wanted it to make a move to the upside, and that is euro pound. So as you can see, 370 pips, not as fast as the yen pairs, but it's 370 pips nonetheless. Very good return on euro pound as well. All right, so what is the outlook going forward? Let's start with the market outlook. So guys, if you like our content, go to our apologies, guys. Some technological issues there, but all sorted. Yeah, so if you like our content, please drop us a like, give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment. We value your input, and hit that bell notification button so that you get an alert the next time we upload a video. All right, so what is the outlook going into the new week? Let's have a look at that. We start with the DXY. Let's start with the market outlook. So the DXY has made what looks like a pullback. We're expecting that this is still going to make a continuation to the upside. This is a three-wave pullback. We're still expecting that this is going to make a continuation to the upside going into the new week. All right, so one more move into the new week on the DXY. So that means a continuation to the downside as far as the euro is concerned. The euro looks to have made a very nice three-wave structure here, a flat correction as follows: 1, 2, 3. As you can see here, this looks like a WXY structure. Let's use it yellow color there. So it's a nice WXY structure here. So that is what we're looking at as far as the euro is concerned. You can see it's textbook stuff: 1, 2, 3 down, rather 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. So we're expecting that from around this area, we should see the euro continue to push to the downside going into the new week. So let's see how this plays out. So that will be that WXY structure that we're looking at there as far as the euro is concerned. So let's just have a look at the structure and why we're looking at that on the euro. So I'm going to our website here and just show you a 1-hour chart in our website for our members. Let's have a look at the resources here. So now go to the instruments. So I can say show you the 1 hour chart on the euro so you can see what we are focusing going into the new week. Okay, we'll just have a look at the euro US dollar. Let's open that one up. Right, so we are already there. So we are looking for this WXY structure. That's what I wanted you to see, and where that is coming from. It's coming from that we are start looking at this one to be completing the wave 5. This is only the wave 2 of the yellow, of the 5 in yellow. You won't see it here in this degree, but this is why we're focusing this one to go and make the last 5 waves there. So a pullback in 3, regular flat, expecting this to continue to the downside going into the new week. So if we are expecting the DXY to continue pushing to the upside, we expect the rest of the pairs that are paired against the US dollar. If the US dollar is the quoted pair, they should be making a move to the downside. Similarly, pound US dollar looks to have made also a 3-wave structure. Do we see this one continuing to the downside going into the new week? That looks like an ABC corrective structure. So we'll expect the pound to continue to the downside. US dollar CAD, structurally, it looks like it's going to make a move to the downside. But if we are looking at the DXY, correlation tells us that this should continue to push to the upside, and this will look like an expanding flat. Okay, so let's see if that's what we're going to get here. The DXY should continue to the upside. That will mean that US dollar CAD should also continue to push to the upside. Okay, in line with that, so US dollar CAD has already made a significant move to the downside. It looks like structurally it's going to make a continuation to the downside, but because we're expecting the DXY to continue pushing to the upside, we should at least get, even if this is going to go up in a 3-wave structure in the new week. So let's see if we're going to get that into the new week, at least a 3-wave pullback on US dollar chief. Audi US dollar similarly has made a move to the upside. So with the DXY continuing to push to the upside, you will naturally expect that these should just continue to the downside. But there's a possibility that if this is a 3-wave structure and this is a 3-wave structure, this can make 1, 2, 3 before continuing to the downside, or it can just continue to downside from current level. So you just have to watch the indicator when the market opens and have a look at this. A 3-wave corrective structure here that gives us an entry means we're going to come to this level where we're going to get an entry for downside. Otherwise, this can just continue to the downside from current levels. So the DXY we should be monitoring the DXY closely because it's going to give us the direction for the week. New Zealand US dollar similarly has also made a single impulsive move to the upside, not a convincing one. That's why we still expect that this will only have made a 3-wave structure. So this is only a 3-wave structure and should possibly continue to the downside. But just like Audi, there's also a possibility for this, which is, I don't want to say unlikely because anything is possible in the market. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can have this one making another 1, 2, 3 before coming to the downside. But because this is not so strong, it's a simple 3-wave structure, we can find that we continue to the downside like that. So these two structures, Audi and New Zealand, are similar. We can have this one. This one has also made a 3-wave structure. We can do that, or we can go take the top here, make a regular flat, and give us a regular flat, and then we continue to the downside. All right, so that's New Zealand and US dollar, and New Zealand US dollar. Right, that's Audi US dollar and New Zealand US dollar. All right, now, if the DXY continues to push to the upside, we'll expect the US dollar ZAR to make one more move to the upside, but you can see that this is very close to at least a retracement. Whether that retracement just becomes a 3-wave structure or it is a pullback from that level, but we should see the US dollar ZAR just making a pullback there. We are almost at all-time highs as far as the US dollar ZAR is concerned, but let's see if we're going to get one last move to the upside before a deeper correction on the US dollar ZAR. All right, so let's look now onto the yen pairs. I'm going to go onto the yen pairs. You've seen the forecast on the euro where we forecasted this 500 pips from this level here. Got the 500 pips, we've got this move here. It looks like US dollar yen, which is also correlated to the DXY, is simply just making a 3-wave pullback, and we should see this continue to push to the upside in the next week. Either that or this can make a 3-wave structure like this before we push to the upside. A structure like this will be a very good one for an entry to the upside going into the new week. And then we're going to be looking at it as like that, as an ABC corrective structure there. that is on US dollar yen. So let's see how this plays out. Still pretty much bullish. One more move to the upside. I would not want to buy it at this level for a new trade. If you are holding it from here, then that's fine. By all means, you can do that, but I wouldn't want to buy it from here because that is the risk to reward ratio is just not good enough at that level. All right, pound yen is also indicating that it has made in the 1 hour a 3-wave, as well as in the 4 hour a 3-wave pullback. We should see this continuing to make another move to the upside going into the new week, even if it is just to get to around 168 going into the new week. We should see that on pound yen. Euro yen, you've already seen this one during trade recaps. So let me just show you here. So with the euro yen, we started forecasting the move to the upside when we were here, but we were simply looking for it to only get in here into the blue box. So we are also expected that from here, we may see this one starting to reverse, but it has pushed through onto the blue box, and that changes the structure slightly, but doesn't change it by much. So what that simply means is that you're not going to have a 3-wave structure there. This is actually going to be an impulse, and we're not going to get that blue box. So this is going to make another 5-wave structure to the upside, expecting a pullback on euro yen. So when I'm showing you this pullback, it does not have to happen at current levels. This can push slightly up higher before we can get this 3-wave pullback, but eventually we should get these 5 waves into the upside. Next week, I'll show you where these 5 waves comes from and why we're focusing it like that. So this is euro yen. Expect continuation to the upside after a pullback. If it does not give you a pullback, clear entry, you don't jump in onto that trade unless you have bought it from the blue box around here and you are still holding it. All right, so those are the yen pairs. Now, Chief yen, you've seen this one from here when it made this structure here. It made 1, 2, 3. You saw this one during the trade recaps. You took it from here and has made a move to the upside. This looks like it's not done yet. We're still going to see more upside on the yen pairs. There's still quite some leg room for it to continue to push to the upside. Chief yen there, as you can see. Any pullback, an opportunity to continue taking it up higher. New Zealand, US dollar. Similarly, you've seen this one during trade recap after having made this complex B correction here with this structure here with 1, 2, 3. We're expecting this one to continue pushing to the upside. We made what looks like a 1, 2. You saw this one during trade recaps. This one continued to the upside. That is the expectation on New Zealand. Audi similarly has also made a complex B correction with this structure here. Let's show the complex B. That's your complex B correction here. It's an expanding flat in the middle, and you've got this one here as an ABC corrective structure here. ABC corrective structure. So that's what you have, ABC there. And then internally here, if you want, you can label this one here. You've got a WXY corrective structure like this. Right, so WXY here, and that is your B wave. Then we focused that this was going to make a move to the upside. Couple of pips to the upside later. We're still expecting that even if you get a pullback, this should just continue to make a move to the upside. That is Audi yen and CAD yen. Lastly, on the yen pairs, CAD yen. Looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. Okay, so we're going to have this one as 1, 2, 3. Any wave forward that goes to the sideways here, we'll be looking for it to make another leg to the upside. Remember this structure here, the complex B in this fashion here, that's where we got the move to the upside. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Continuation to the upside after making this ABC corrective structure here, ABC. Now we're looking for this one to be making an impulsive move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So guys, make note that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not just a matter of finding this last string here and putting in these numbers. This is interlinked to a deeper corrective structure. This is this is the front end of a very detailed analysis that starts from historical data from the monthly, weekly, all the way down to a trade setup. So if you get this one here, that would be just to go and complete that wave 5 in that degree. Now, let's have a look at gold and silver. If we're expecting the yen pairs to continue pushing to the upside, as much as the structure is telling us upside, so what we're looking at here with the naked eye, we are seeing a 3-wave structure here on silver Will silver continue to push to the upside? It may just do this, but we're expecting this to have been a three-wave move. Looking at the WXYXZ continuing strength here, we should see silver continue to the downside as well, and also gold continuing to the downside as well. It has also made a three-wave structure, but gold has made it in a regular flat fashion, so we're expecting that gold should continue lower, to push lower. Gold should continue to push lower. After making this, now we've got this structure here. We're expecting downside because the DXY is showing strength. All right, so those are the commodities. And platinum. Platinum, similarly, we've got a pullback. Is this a three-wave pullback on platinum, where we now expect this one to start coming to the downside like this? So we'll be waiting for platinum to give us a confirmation and an entry here for a continuation to the downside. So bearish on the commodities. Similarly, we've got on Brent crude oil, not similarly. So Brent crude oil, I want to have a look here. So is Brent crude oil structure complete for downside? If it's complete, that means it has made this structure here. So let's have a look at the structure that we were looking at with Brent crude oil. We were looking for it to have made this complex B correction here, to have made 1, to have made 2, 3, and then for it to go and make a new high. So if Brent crude oil can continue to make new highs there, so we're going to see new highs on Brent crude oil, and that means oil is going to be very expensive. Is that the case? We wait for that confirmation around this level. But if you look at the high level structure, I want to show you the weekly. I want to show you our chart and how we're forecasting this. I just want you to see this, where we are with Brent crude oil. There's nothing that stops Brent crude oil from going all the way down to those 2020 lows. Okay, those 2020 lows where it came as low as about $20 per 20 US dollar per barrel. All right, so that's what we're looking at as far as this is concerned. Why would that continue to the downside? Just to give you an indication, this will be making a 1 and then a bigger complex structure here in the middle, like this. Then we'll look for this one to have made 1, 2, 3. Then we look for this one to be making this structure. So it will not be surprising to see oil retest these lows before making new highs. Or is it just going to go straight from current levels? Well, that remains to be seen. So we'll be watching it closely in the lower time frames to see what indications it's giving us for confirmation. Let's go back to the lower degrees. Pound Audi, you're simply looking for any opportunity that gives you a sell setup. You take that, because Pound Audi is bearish. Every time you see these three waves, time you see these pullbacks, they're telling you downside, they're telling you downside, they're telling you downside. Similarly here, if you get another one here in the lower degree, look to sell. Pound Audi, Pound CAD, Pound Shift, all bearish. So every time you get these three-wave pullbacks, be patient. Do not just go and sell them just because they're going down. Wait for them to give you deeper pullback and good entries for you to then take it to the downside. The same thing with Pound Chief, as you can see here, has made a nice textbook running flat here in this fashion, and we are now continuing to the downside. Any pullback in three waves, you look to sell it. All right, so those are the pound pairs. They're all looking pretty bearish. Now we've got here New Zealand. So New Zealand would be making this beautiful structure here as well. 1, 2, 3. Would expect it to do this because it is looks like it's confirming that it's going to give us one leg to the upside. But because the rest of the pound pairs are looking downside, this leg here in the red degree may not happen, and New Zealand can just drop from current levels. So let's see which one confirms into the new week, and then this would have made that structure for continuation to the downside. We'll be monitoring that into the new week for confirmation. The euros are the same, euro CAD. If this is going to make any move to the upside, so we've got this one here, this should just continue to the downside, really. Okay, so there are a number of options that this can make. So just to show you one, so this looks like an impulse. This can come here with 3, make 1, 1, 1, and then downside. Then would have made this structure here A, B, C corrective structures. There are a number of ways that this can play out. So we watch for the one that confirms, that the indicator confirms this A, B, C corrective structure. Are we going to go upside, downside, upside, then before we come to the downside. If we get to this level, that's a nice selling opportunity, not at current levels where it does not have a clear opportunity. Euro Audi is very clear. It has made three-wave structure. It has made a move to the downside. Any pullback that gives us an entry in the 1 hour, we'll look to sell that. As you can see here, very clear WXY corrective structure on the Euro Audi, looking for this to continue to the downside. So let's see what confirmation we get around this level going into the new week. All right, so those are the euros. We still have Euro Chief, which is bearish. So Euro Chief, after making this pullback on the 4 hour, it is making 1, 2, 3. We should see this one continue to the downside, really. Euro Chief, similarly. Let's go daily. Let's make it a higher time frame. So on the daily on Euro Pound, you've seen how we focused this one from the blue box. We should be seeing this as 3 waves. We should see another 3 waves. What that will mean is that we've got 1, 2, 3 here, and we've got 1, 2, 3. We can have 1, 2, 3 to complete this purple WXY before we make a move to the downside. So let's have a look here and see how this plays out. Right, Euro New Zealand. Now, looking at Euro New Zealand, just like Pound New Zealand, this could be making a continuation to the downside with this three-wave structure. Could this be a three-wave structure? Wait for this. This could be a very nice trade setup to take us back to this level. Because if you get to this level, there's nothing that stops. This is the daily chart, by the way. There's nothing that stops us from getting a regular flat. And if we get a regular flat at this level, this is a very nice opportunity to take it all the way to the downside. Let's get some of the crosses out in New Zealand. I'm not going to go through all the crosses out in New Zealand. Just expect this to continue to the upside in the new week. You must do that before continuing to the upside. Audi CAD. Now, looking at Audi CAD, we've got an impulsive move, we've got a three-wave pullback. Is this going to give us one more up before dropping, giving us this ABC corrective structure, or can it just continue from current levels? So we'll wait for that confirmation around these levels. Those are the crosses. I'm not going to go through all of them. This one here is Audi Chief. Nothing really much to take home on the crosses. New Zealand CAD as well. Although there was the opportunity for this one to come around this level, the indicator is not confirming that pullback. So we can just get this one dropping to the downside and coming back down below the structural level without retesting this level. So there will be nothing wrong with that. And maybe lastly on the crosses, I can just look at CAD Chief. All right, so CAD Chief looking for continuation to the downside. This has made a three-wave structure. It's already making a push to the downside. We're going to get this one here. It looks like it's starting to slow down where this can start making a move to the upside. But right now it's still a bit messy. You need a little bit more data to be able to trade that. All right, so the indices, what we've been focusing over the last couple of days was that this is a three-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for this one to continue to the upside. Is it going to continue to the upside? We're looking at this one to be making a three-wave pullback. We can get this one coming around this level. We can get this one doing this and giving us this as a WXY corrective structure. So this is still complex, still in the making. So let's just watch and see what this is building. Right now, you don't need to stress about the structure it's making. You just try to follow it and ensure that you are able to predict what structure it is making. That is the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial will have a similar structure as well. Okay, so also a three-way structure, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, WXY on this one has made a move to the upside, has made a move down. Can we get this one doing that? That will be the same as the S&P 500. There are a number of possibilities on this one. We'll be tracking it as it's playing out. This is not the only one, but what happens is when we are within the corrective structure, we let it play out. Let's get to a point where we are able to predict what the direction is going to be after the corrective structure is completed. That is the Dow Jones, and then let's have a look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is doing the same thing. Let's have a look at this one. Nasdaq, 5 waves down, pull back. Can it do the same? And we get this one here doing that. So still a bit tricky on the indices. You don't want to jump in as yet until you get clear confirmation. Next one is the Nikkei has made this three-wave structure. It's making this three-wave structure. The expectation was for this one to make another three waves like this, so we can get a move to the upside. This should have been a W, should have been an X, Y, so that we would have gotten this as a three down, three up, and a three down before pushing to the right. Let's watch this going into the new week. Can this one just make one more up before giving us that deeper corrective structure, that corrective structure there, that corrective structure there? So we would have this one having made a WXY corrective structure, and will be giving us the next leg to the upside. Nifty. Right, the Nifty looks to be still showing strength with this WXY structure. Three waves down, three waves up, and three waves down. WXY on the Nifty. So it looks like the Nifty is going to get an opportunity here for a trade to the upside. So whatever we get here, the Nifty should see the pair continue to move to the upside. And that's all I have for you for this week, guys. As far as the Forex, the commodities, Forex and pairs and the commodities are concerned. So for the crypto webinar, just look out for it on the channel as well. Sandile would present that as well. All right, so you must all have a great week. Trade responsibly. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment, hit us with that bell, hit that bell notification button so you get an alert the next time we upload a video. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.